Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Beat with me, Odette. So what happens when you're a school leaver and you don't have money to pay for a tertiary education and you can't get your hands on a bursary? You become an entrepreneur, of course. Hello Siboniso and welcome to Business Beat.
Thank you so much, Odette, for having me.
I was blown away when I found out your story. How and where did the inspiration for your business come from?
I think it was in grade 8. That's when I started flipping sweets. Started selling sweets, and then my savings part started from there, where I understood money management. And then I failed grade 11. Then my mom motivated me, no my son, there is more to life than your failure. She always motivates me to keep going, and then luckily I made it to matric. And then matric, another failure came, another obstacle kept me. And then my youth leader, luckily my youth leader advised me to say, Siboniso, there's a business, there's a possibility of you trading. He introduced me into the game, where I started doing personalized items like caps, t-shirts for customization for people. And then luckily the guy that I was doing printing with in Jeppy's town, I used to take a taxi from Eldos to Jeppy. Imagine, that's 2 taxis.
Right.
And there was most cases like at 8 I would wait, because because I'm a young upcoming entrepreneur, so how am I gonna make the means end? So I had to wait until 8. That's the only time they could assist me, because they always focus on higher volume. And then from there, my currently my current graphic designer. Just see how mysterious things went out. And then from there, he created the Andy logo for me. So that was my signature. Started doing the his and hers, and then people started inquiring about, who's this Andy? What is this Andy all about? And then from there,
so you built a brand.
I built a brand. So we're trying to expand the brand and grow it constantly, bit by bit.
So a very good friend of mine introduced us.
Yes.
Tebe is probably the most wise person when it comes to learning about building a brand, making sure you do the correct things to sustain a brand and ultimately your business.
True.
He's joining us via Skype today, and I know that he paid you a visit not so long ago. Tebe, welcome to Business Beat, and thank you so much for your time. I know you're an exceptionally busy person. Quickly tell us, in your opinion, how successful can a brand be if they are homegrown, if they are from South Africa? How do these brands compete against the conglomerates that have been dominating the world for decades?
Well, over the last 10 years, I've conducted Brand Africa 100, which is Africa's top 100 most admired brands. So one of the key findings really out of this survey is that only 20% of the brands that Africans admire are made in Africa. So one of my missions over the last many years has been to look into where the future of African brands are, to look at who are those young entrepreneurs who are creating brands. That means that I'm constantly have within line of sight those brands which are rising. Some of them already at the cusp of greatness, and some of them are showing great potential. I've then also looked at the key challenge that we have. The key challenge that we have is South Africa, for example, unemployment rate of almost 40%. That means that we need to create jobs. So one of the ways that we are going to create jobs, we all know that the backbone of any great economy are the small business players. So I'm always on the lookout for new brands, for new businesses, for that particular reasons.
You've heard what Tebe has had to say.
Yes.
What steps have you put in place in your business to ensure that your business doesn't just succeed, but that it thrives, and that it doesn't become a statistic of yet another failed brand on the continent?
So firstly, it wasn't easy getting access to Mr. Tebe, since we know that he's a well-groomed marketing guru in Africa. So we had to hustle our way to be in contact with him.
Right.
And then, like currently at this moment, we are busy with our flagship store, and the flagship store that we would like to be a trademark from Eldorado Park. So it should be a historical story to be told to the globe.
Yes.
And also, we just don't sell apparel, we sell an experience. That's who we are, that's who we are, that's ND, that's Nomgenge D, or only quality people. So when people come, they will experience the quality service and also the tangible items that they can live with and say, no, you know what, I was in this particular place that's called Eldorado Park, and there's this particular brand that's called Andy. So we want to be in clients' brains, minds, emotion. You understand?
What about those clients that aren't able to come to Eldorado Park? How are you going to get to the people in Cape Town?
So with that, we do have social media platforms. We also have a online store called www.nomgenge.co.za, where people can make purchases online, so we are diverse.
You're already a global player,
yes,
just by being connected to the internet and having an e-commerce store. So your store, I believe it's coming along nicely.
We were trading first from a pop-up store to a backyard, now to have been able to raise funds to buy a container, locally owned, unfunded, by the team, which is magnificent. It's inspirational.
How many people are in your team?
3 full-time, 2 part-time. And everyone is from our community. So it's all about empowerment and also skills development, as that where we B2B.
I'm hearing from you some very, very valuable pieces of advice for young people.
Yes.
But I want to wrap with your advice to young people. First, I want to ask Tebe. Tebe, what is your advice to young people, aspiring entrepreneurs who can't get into university, who, like Siboniso, couldn't raise the funds for a tertiary education?
You know, I always say to all entrepreneurs and all business people that it all starts with having a clear idea. So it's important to have a clear and a distinctive idea, but most importantly, that idea must be very, very different. It mustn't be like others. You know, you cannot try and create a Me Too product and hope that you're also going to be able to succeed. So it must be clear. It must be distinctive, you need to be consistent, and you need to invest in it. And investment isn't necessarily about money, but certainly time, relationships, and patience, because it doesn't happen overnight, because success takes a long time for many people. Yes, sometimes you could be lucky and get that break, but it is about being patient.
Tebe
is
a wise man. What is your advice to the young Sibonisos out there that are hustling, struggling, wishing they were hustling, and looking up to you? What do you have to say to the young South Africans out there?
It is possible. Look at me. I am Siboniso Nomgenge from the streets of Eldorado Park, a young 25-year-old man who is very adamant to succeed in life. Just authored a book called Eldo's Game Changers, where it's changing the Eldorado Park narrative. Right. Despite where you are from, it is possible to succeed. We have great features like Jason Goliath, Stacey Lee May are the features to motivate the youth. Those are the characters that I found inspiring icons in my community that made it possible for me to be where I am. So my message to the youth is to never give up, like my t-shirt says. Right. There's a message behind every apparel we make. We just don't sell anything. There's a message that we are portraying, and we sell the experience. So come experience the Andy flagship store. It's opening soon. Can't wait.
Thank you, Tebe. Thank you for taking time out to be with us here on Business Beat. All the entrepreneurs have got to listen to what you have to say. We appreciate your time. God bless, stay safe, and we'll see you around.
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you're doing at Business Beat, encouraging young and showcasing and encouraging young businesses and entrepreneurs to stay at it and to build the businesses that are going to create the jobs that are going to help rebuild our economy and our country.
There you have it, folks. If that did not inspire you, I don't know what will. This is a story of a young man who was determined. He faced failure. He persevered. He applied discipline and the right attitude to create a business that delivers experience, that is becoming a brand, that is going to put Eldorado Park, South Africa, and Africa on a global stage. Until next time.